Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I didn't buy a new face, I will use my old one and will bother people with this. Guys, this video will be very short, but it's my adult, mature response to all the constructive comments to my previous videos about Hungarian minorities in the Carpathian region. So after receiving some experience in Verkhovna district, I was sure that Orban gave us slightly misleading information. What a surprise. However, most concerning point from the Euro Commission and from my side was the educational law that was adopted by President Poroshenko, former president of Ukraine, in 2017. So, as I have found before during the first video, this law has been adopted in 2017 and actually regulate the language of education within national minority. And the Article 7 declared that the language of educational institutions and education itself is Ukrainian language. And all students and kids after primary school, when they are moving to basic secondary education, they should learn subject in Ukrainian language. But the issue is that all students within the national minorities in special classes where most of pupils were national minorities, they were studying subject like math, geography or reading or something else, all in the language of this national minority. That is why this law have brought the backlash. Some of the members of our small but friendly community. By the way, guys, I want to take a pause here and express my appreciation for donations to Power Station. I have already done a small report via short videos. We received this Power Station. It's called Daribson or Dabison. I'm sorry, I misspelled it. However, this is the photo of our power station and this station has already gone to my friend. So guys, thank you and I much appreciate for your trust and support. Many members of this lovely community told me that for example, Switzerland or Belgium has multiple languages and people are speaking French and Italian, English in these countries and no one prohibits them to receive education on their own language. Yes, however, in my opinion, we should not compare Ukrainian situation with Switzerland and Belgium, because the first point of this law was erasing Russian language from educational system of Ukraine. You know that Russian language for all Ukrainians now is the language of trauma. I'm not speaking about all population, but I'm speaking about myself and for majority of Ukrainians. Guys, and this is a language of occupier for us, the language of Queen Catherine and Peter I, who were colonized our lands, and this is a language of Stalin and Holodomor and Soviet leaders who were trying to vanish us, and it's also language of great Russian culture, where Ukrainian lands and Ukraine was called Malorossia or Little Russia, and all Ukrainian people were called peasants or uneducated people. So that is why our government is doing all the measures to erase Russian language from common use, especially education, to educate little Gen Z and Gen Alpha as carriers of Ukrainian language. Not like me, for example, because I was a carrier of Russian language. My school was Russian school, actually. We have a lot of English and a lot of Russian language, like Russian literature, Russian history, and all the subjects like chemistry or math were in Russian. And Ukrainian language was like 4 times a week. So, as Ukrainian population was not ready to switch by themselves and were not such mentally mature and educated as we are now, so government took a hard decision to be a regulator in this process and issued this law where they demanded the language of education and defined it as Ukrainian. However, after examination of this law, Eurocommission gave their feedback and recommended to make the norms more flexible for national minorities who are living on Transcarpathia region and make it more flexible for languages of EU. Guys, and we took it to consideration. Have you noticed that Orban arrived to the meeting with our president and he have not been done it for 12 years? Last time he came to Ukraine when Yanukovych was president. So, can you imagine? This was possible because we met him halfway. We actually changed some clauses and some articles of the law to honor these national minorities who are living in Transcarpathia. If university have taught me something, that was Googling and researching. I'm doing researches all the time, and actually I found a national law about education from 2017 and additional law like addendum law to this initial law that was adopted in 2023 in December. That is why Orban came to us. So I check it and can say that we have done such improvements. So let's check the main causes. So according to the addendum to the law, privately owned institutions of higher education have the right to freely choose the language of institution, which is an official language of European Union, of course. Also, people who are national minorities of Ukraine that are speaking languages which are official languages of European Union and started obtaining January secondary education before September 2018 in the language of national minority until completion of fully general secondary education have a right to continue obtaining such education in their own language. So I guess this should be good. What does it mean? And if you are ethnical Hungarian, for example, and you are proceeding with secondary education now and started to receive it before the 2018, you have a right to receive it and end it and graduate, and your education will be in Hungarian language. It's granted by this addendum. Only 4 mandatory subjects for such group of students should be provided on Ukrainian language. And this: A, the history of Ukraine, 2, Ukrainian language as a subject, 3, Ukrainian literature, and new subject that was implemented also in 2023. This is of defense of Ukraine. This is the name of the subject. And when our kids are living in new reality where your neighbor can occupy sovereign lands of our country, can kill civilians and people, torture them in torture chambers, and no one will do something about this, I'm very glad that our government provided new subject that will learn basic tactic and combat skills, basic drone operation, like how operate the drones on primary level, and also basic survival skills, tactic medicine, and patriotical education. As a good news, I want to say that if we met Orban halfway, he didn't protest our accession membership and negotiations with Ukraine about stable memberships in European Union. Because according to negotiation with Eurocommission, Orban and President Zelensky, in the framework document, when Ukraine will be a part of Euro Union, we need to make changes and need to implement more improvements to the national minorities that are living in Transcarpathia region and give them their rights back that they had in 2015. However, in my opinion, it's very reasonable, but I see no any harm in mandatory learning of Ukrainian state language. So these kids, these Hungarian ethnical kids, can receive education here in Ukraine for free because we are providing scholarships for good students, etc., and find good job and make a career. And they do not need to go in Hungary to start from scratch in Hungary. They can find themselves and their career and their bright future here in Ukraine after war. And guys, when the war is over, with our victory, this is a dream of mine, the biggest dream of mine. We all will rebuild Ukraine, and all the people, no matter if they are ethnical Ukrainians or not, will take a part in this rebuilding process. Thank you for watching this video till the very end. You are my heroes as always. Put a thumbs up to this video and share it across the internet or with your family and friends, for example, if they are arguing with the pro-Russian trolls who are spreading propaganda in the internet, for example, Twitter or X, okay. And please put comments to this video to make YouTube algorithm recognize our existing here. So see you in the next video, and God be with you.